Good evening and thanks for joining us. As pressure mounts for the West to intervene in Syria, today the Americans gave the strongest indication yet they are preparing for a strike. Secretary of State John Kerry said the U.S. has no doubt chemical weapons were used, that the Syrian government is the culprit, and that President Obama believes there must be accountability. In Damascus, UN inspectors working to verify what weapons were used came under sniper attack today. The situation is complex and it is evolving. Eric Sorensen is watching it for us from Washington.
UN vehicles came under sniper fire today in Syria. But even as inspectors began gathering evidence of chemical weapons use, the international community appears to have already drawn conclusions. Since the disturbing pictures emerged last week of Syrian civilians sickened and killed, pressure has been mounting for the West to act. The red line that President Obama described appears to have been crossed.
What we saw in Syria last week should shock the conscience of the world.
The U.S. Secretary of State stopped just short of announcing a military response.
And the president will be making an informed decision about how to respond to this indiscriminate use of chemical weapons. But make no mistake, President Obama believes there must be accountability.
Cruise missiles from U.S. destroyers and submarines are among the options being considered, along with attacks by fighter jets from outside Syrian airspace. Syria's President Assad has warned of a widening war in the region if his country is attacked. But NATO allies are sending a unified message that action is imminent.
We're clear in the British government that it was the Assad regime that carried out this chemical attack.
Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister wouldn't say if Canada would get involved militarily, but suggested a political solution is slipping away.
Canada is incredibly outraged by the use of chemical weapons in Syria. Such an attack demands a firm response from the international community.
The French foreign minister and the German foreign minister both saying there will be consequences. But military consequences will not happen through the UN Security Council. Russia's President Putin, who spoke by phone today with Britain's Prime Minister, would block any UN action against his Syrian ally. Russia's foreign minister suggested NATO countries have already made up their minds to attack. The use of force, he says, without sanction from the UN Security Council is a crude violation of international law. And so Washington is now coordinating with allies in Canada, Europe, as well as the Arab League. The question no longer appears to be if there will be a military strike, but when. Donna?
All right, Eric. So if this goes ahead, the military intervention, the big question, what form does it take? How extensive is it? What are the options being weighed in Washington?
Well, there are no suggestions that they're going to put Western military boots on the ground or even that they would invade Syrian airspace. More likely, it's going to be limited missile strikes from outside Syria at specific targets. That wouldn't necessarily defeat Assad, but it would send a very clear message about using chemical weapons again.
All right, Eric Sorensen in Washington, thank you.